Prince CDs Part 3. Hoi hoi everybody, and welcome to part 3 of my look at my Prince and related artist CDs, part of my CD collection, or music collection playlist rather. Excuse me. Let's get straight on. Mixture of Prince and related artists in this one. This is George Clinton's Hey Man Smell My Finger. So George Clinton, founder of Parliament and Funkadelic, then has done various solo works as well. This was the second album he released with Prince on Prince's labels. It was originally released on Paisley Park, then was re-released on NPG, New Power Generation. I had I think the original version, I had the Paisley Park version on cassette, but this version is the NPG version. I think they're identical, not like the Mavis Staples one mentioned in part 1, which had different track listings. Definitely the better of George's 2 Prince related albums. There's a couple of tracks that definitely sound like they got Prince involvement. Certainly Get Satisfied Prince often did live as well, so I'm sure he had some involvement with that. But technically the only Prince related track is The Big Pump, which is a duet between the two of them. But Red Hot Chili Peppers were on this as well, so it is a really good album. This is his first album. This is on Paisley Park. The Cinderella Theory. It's alright, it's not great. Officially no Prince involvement, but again a couple of tracks you think he might just be there. This is Eric Leeds. I think this was his first album, Things Left Unsaid. So Eric was Prince's saxophonist regularly from 85. He was in the family, and then joined Prince's band mainly from 87 through to 90, but then he would regularly guest throughout Prince's career. But this is an album he released on Paisley Park of jazz instrumentals. I think Prince had a co-write on at least one track. I might be wrong. Yeah, Aguilada was a co-write with Prince. But they're good, easy listening almost jazz albums. And this was Times Squared, which I think was his second album. Prince, yes, this has got a couple of tracks which were based on, if you watch part 2, they recorded a third Madhouse album which was then scrapped, but a couple of the tracks were re-recorded and done slightly differently for this, including the Dopamine Rush and I think the title track, but certainly the Dopamine Rush was based on one of them. And Prince plays, actually Prince is all over it. A long time since I listened to this, but Prince plays on every track as well. Might be the other way around then. This might have been the first album and Times Squared might have been the second. And Things Left Unsaid might have been the second. Let's have a look at the dates, if I can see them. No, can't see them. Never mind. I'll pop it up here. Excuse me. This is Duff McKagan, the bass player from Guns N' Roses. He released a solo album. He might have released more than one, but this from his first solo album. And this is a single from it. The single was Believe in Me, but the B-sides are his versions of Bowie's Cracked Actor and Prince's Bambi, which is my joint favourite Prince song, and it's a very good version of it. He's a huge Prince fan. He has his symbol on his bass guitar nowadays. Excuse me. This is Martika's Kitchen, Martika's second album, which Prince worked on 4 tracks: Martika's Kitchen, Spirit, Love Thy Will Be Done, and Don't Say You Love Me. I think the 4 that Prince was directly involved in, but it's a really, really good album. Somewhere in amongst all these, I have a re-release of this, which I have showed on a very early video. This is the single of Margie Cox's, or Margie Cox, I'm never sure if it's Margie or Margie, Standing at the Altar. She was a Minneapolis singer who worked with Prince for a while until she quit the music business. But this is a track she recorded with him, Standing at the Altar. The B-side is 17 by Madhouse. It was after the scrapped Madhouse album, they then recorded a brand new Madhouse album with totally different songs, and that never came out either. So there's two versions of 24. They're both different, neither of them released, but tracks, what would have been the first track on that, 17, was released on Prince's 1-800 New Funk compilation, which I'll show when we get to it. But both these tracks were on there. This is Brown Mark. So Mark Brown is his real name, but Prince made him Brown Mark. He was a bass player with the Revolution. This is might be his only solo album. It's alright, but the track Bang Bang was written by Prince, I believe. Memory serves. Where's the writing credits? But Prince plays on it as well. Yeah, I haven't got any writing credits for some reason. Or I'm missing them anyway. But yeah, Bang Bang was definitely Prince involved. This was Prince's backing band, New Power Generation, released 3 CDs under their own name, but they were pretty much just another way for Prince to get music out, so he's all over them. This is Exodus, which is my favourite of the 3. Magnificent album. This is Gold Experience era. Gold Experience being my favourite album ever. This is very similar feel to it. Get Wild was quite a big hit single. Count the Days was released as a single. The Good Life was released as a single, and one of the remixes of it became quite a big hit. I love on the track The Exodus Has Begun, and it's got segues between the track, and one of them just makes me laugh every time I hear it. But yeah, really good album, that. So this is The Good Life from that album. This is a CD single. I think it's Platinum People mix that became quite a big club hit. But this has also got the Big City remix, I think it is, which is basically an entirely new rap version of the track. Completely different lyrics. Really good. This is Jevetta Steele's solo album. Here it is. So Jevetta was one of Steele's family. I showed one of their albums on part 1. They're a gospel group who worked with Prince. As I said then, I'm not sure if they're actually from Minneapolis, but they based themselves there. And this has got, I think it's Here It Is, that Prince wrote for her. The title track. Skip to My You, My Darling, Prince co-wrote. I'm sure he did. No, he didn't do Here It Is. Oh, and How he co-wrote as well. And he co-produced it as well. Back to the Exodus album. This is the single of Count the Days. So this has got an edit, the album version, and then New Power Soul from the album. This was the first MPG album, Gold Nigger. This was only available through Prince's store in Camden, and he actually had a proper shop in Camden, in London, and in Minneapolis, and he sold it at some gigs. This is actually a bootleg of it because I never got an original copy. So this has got the album plus some remixes of the track. In a minute, Together, which was released as a single as well. I was going to say, when it was originally released, it was track 2 on it is a track called Guess Who's Knocking, and it's loosely based on Let 'Em In, the Paul McCartney and Wings song. Was it Wings or was it just Paul McCartney? Anyway, that song. And so for subsequent releases it had to be dropped for legal reasons, but this has got the full version on it, being a bootleg. It's quite a good album. It's very rap heavy, but there's some tracks on here which are brilliant, which are Juice and a Quarter, Black AMF in My House, which is hilarious and really good. Together is quite a good track. It's got Call the Law on it, which was originally a B-side to Money Don't Matter Tonight, I think, off of Diamonds and Pearls. The track Johnny is amazing. Okay, we have 2 versions of Prince's Planet Earth album. So these actually, okay, I lied. We have 3 versions of Prince's Planet Earth album. These 2 are identical. These were the version given away with the mail on Sunday. Again, I just picked up a couple of... I bought it, and then when I got to work, I was day off when it came out. But when I went to work the next day, they'd saved me a copy as well. So I've got 2 copies of that. This is the version that was given free at the 21 Nights in London gigs. It was included as part of the ticket price. Everybody got a copy of the CD. So some people have 21 people who went to all nights have 21 copies of this. I only went to one, sadly, on that tour. Well, it didn't tour, but on that run. But that's my version. The only difference is, as you can see, this has got curved edges. Again, as mentioned in part 1 about the 2010 album, it's that period where all the albums sort of sounded the same, but it's got some good stuff on it. Here's another copy of 2010, as mentioned in part 1. So I've got 2 copies that I know of, and then I've got another load hidden somewhere, but I can't remember where. I did give some away. Let's have a slurp. This is the soundtrack to Spike Lee's film Girl 6, which is entirely made up of Prince and related artist tracks. At the time it was released, She Spoke to Me, it was unique to this, as was Don't Talk to Strangers and Girl 6, which was credited to the New Power Generation. But it's also got Screams of Passion by The Family, Nasty Girl by Vanity 6 on there, and then other Prince tracks. It's got Erotic City, which was a B-side, How Come You Don't Call Me Anymore, which is a B-side. So it was a nice little mixture, not just obvious songs on there. This is a soundtrack to the Robert Altman film Pret-a-Porter, which is a very good film. It's a nice little compilation, this. Here Comes a Hot Stepper by Iniesta Kamosi, which was a big hit, came from this. It's also got Salt and Pepper, Janet Jackson, Rolling Stones, Cranberries, Brand New Heavies, Terence Trent D'Arby, U2, and MPG doing Get Wild, which was on Exodus, but this is an entirely different version of the song. This is an interview disc and fully illustrated book. So the disc has got, I don't know if it's 1 or 2 interviews on it, but no music, obviously. And then it's enclosed in a copy of John Ewing's CD book of Prince, which I've got separately, which is sort of an album by album guide up to and including the Hits album. No, yeah, the Hits albums. So 93. Nothing exciting really on there. This is soundtrack to Spike Lee's film Bamboozled, which has 2 Prince tracks on. Was it just 1? Just 1. 2045 Radical Man, which is exclusive to this. But Stevie Wonder's on it, Erykah Badu, Angie Stone, Common, India Arie, Chuck D, The Roots, and featuring Zach De La Rocha, Bruce Hornsby. Yeah, it's quite a good little compilation, this. This is Carmen Electra's self-titled album before she went on to become better known as an actress. Prince found her, gave her the name Carmen Electra, and recorded this album with her. I really like this album. She's not going to win any awards for her vocals or her rapping, but it's got some good songs on here. Go Go Dancer's good, and was also a single. I've got the CD single somewhere, I think. Step to the Mic, Fantasia Erotica, ST, which is a rap version of Skin Tight, the Ohio Players song, I think it is. Everybody Get On Up, I love. It's a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant track. All That's Good, which is loosely based on Prince's Adore, but with different lyrics. Yeah, underrated, that album, and I really like it. This is the CD single of the MPG track Get Wild, which features the single mix Beautiful Girl, which is obviously the most beautiful girl in the world, but I can't remember what version it is, but it is a previously released remix of it, given a slightly different name, and an Hallucination Rain from the Exodus album. This is Prince's albums. This was released as a triple pack, so it's Elixir by Bria Valente, who Prince was involved with at the time, which is a very good album actually. Again, another hugely underrated one.
Principles was a UK-based fashion retailer founded in 1984.
Elixir, that's what set it off. Alexa, stop. Okay, yeah, which is a really good album. Lotus Flower by Prince and MPLS Sound by Prince. Again, it's that period where all the albums sort of sounded the same, but there's some very good stuff on here. His cover of Crimson and Clover. Love Like Jazz is very good. Wall of Berlin's good. Dreamer's good. Dance For Me's good. You're Gonna See Me's good. That was a re-recording of a track from One Night Alone. Old School Company's good. I mean, it's all good, but you know, they have standout tracks if you like. And as I say, the Bria Valente album, whose name I won't mention again in fear of setting that thing off. None of the track names are bringing songs to mind, but it is a really good album. This is the Ultimate Prince Greatest Hits, which was released in 2006. This was the third Greatest Hits compilation. 2 CDs. Disc 1 is sort of what you would expect for Greatest Hits. Disc 2 is good though. It's full of 12-inch remixes of various tracks, including She's Always In My Hair, which was a B-side. So yeah, there's a nice way of doing it, and a nice cover to that as well, which I always forget about because it's in that slip. This is a CD single of Fury, which was from Bones Gone Dead 3121. It must be on here somewhere. Yeah, from 3121. So this has got Fury, and then track 2 is the audio of Prince's performance at the 2006 Brit Awards of Te Amo Cozon and Fury, and then track 3 is a video of it. From the same era, this is Black Sweat, a really good funky track. Black Sweat's track 1, track 2 is Beautiful, Loved and Blessed, which was also on the album, and track 3 is the video of Black Sweat. This is Chaka Khan's Come to My House album. So in 97, 8, I think it was recorded in 97, but Prince worked on 3 albums simultaneously. This one by Graham Central Station, and the New Power Generations New Power Soul album. And they all toured together. I saw them on that tour. It's fantastic. But this is the album Chaka Khan recorded, so Prince co-produced it. It was during his symbol period, and it's got various tracks that he co-wrote. Journey to the Centre of Your Heart, Don't Talk to Strangers. It's a really good album. It's her cover of Larry Graham's Hair on here. The drama's good. That was written with Kurt Johnson rather than with Prince. What else did Prince write on here? I Remember You he co-wrote with Chaka and Larry Graham. Demo Crazy he co-wrote. I'll never be. In fact, I think more or less Prince co-wrote all of it. But yeah, it's a good album, that. So the Graham Central Station album, released at the same time as GCS 2000. Another really good album. I really like Larry Graham's music, despite how he brainwashed Prince into the Jehovah's Witnesses. But this is really funky. So many good tracks on here, but 3, which is if a duet's 2 people, a triet. I don't know if that's the right word, with Shaka Khan and Prince. Love for One Another's Groove On, Armageddon, just amazing. But again, Prince is all over this. This is Ingrid Chavez's May 19th 1992 album. Ingrid, Prince discovered, it is believed that it was a night with her and ecstasy that led to him cancelling the Black Album. She was the lead in the film Graffiti Bridge. She was a poet and songwriter. She co-wrote Justify My Love, the Madonna hit, with Lenny Kravitz. So this is basically an album of Ingrid reciting poems over Prince's music, and it's really good. I've got lots of Ingrid's stuff, and this is where it all started. This is the CD single of Carmen Electra's Go-Go Dancer, which has got 5 different mixes on it, and radio edits. I have 2 copies of Prince's Dinner with Dolores from Chaos and Disorder, the CD single. I think I bought one when it came out. I think the other one I sort of got in as part of a bundle when I was buying some Associated Artists releases from eBay. So this has got Dinner with Dolores, Had You, and Right We're Wrong, which are all tracks from Chaos and Disorder. This is Inaya Day's cover of the track Nasty Girl, which Prince originally wrote for Vanity 6. This was quite a big hit over here, certainly. It's just got various mixes of it. This is 94 East release. This was a group that Prince was in before he became famous. There's been a couple of albums released of stuff recorded around that time. This was the second one released. It's got the tracks 1015 and Fortune Teller, which are the first 2 tracks on there, and Prince is on guitar in them. Excuse me. Well, this was released directly by Pepe Willie, whose band it was and who produced the tracks. This is Power of Soul, a tribute to Jimi Hendrix, which was a compilation CD released in 2004, and it features Prince's version of Purple House, which I think is the live version from the Ravens of the Year 2000 video, I think. But yeah, this is all various people covering Jimi Hendrix songs. So as well as Princess Santana, Earth, Wind and Fire, Bootsy Collins, Eric Clapton, Lenny Kravitz, Shaka Khan, CeeLo, John Lee Hooker, Stevie Ray Vaughan. That's a nice little compilation. This is a CD single of the track Superhero by the New Power Generation featuring the Steels, which was used on the soundtrack to the film Blank Man. This was a track originally given by Prince to Earth, Wind and Fire, I think. So then it was re-recorded with the NPG and the Steels and put in the film Blank Man. It's a good, fun, funky track. This has got a couple of mixes plus the original version on it. Yep. Then we have Ginny Wynn's cover of When Doves Cry. That's the only Prince related track on it. He's not on it, obviously, it's just his cover of it. Together with I'm Feeling You and I'll Do Anything, I'm Sorry. So this is the aforementioned 1-800 New Funk compilation, which was a compilation released through Prince's 1-800 New Funk telephone line, and also was released over here in shops. This is various acts that were signed to MPG Records in 1994. Track 1 is Minneapolis by the band MPLS, which features Sonny T, who was part of the MPG, and I think Prince actually wrote the track, if memory serves. I don't know whether it's credited or not. Oh, I can't remember without looking properly. The idea was these would sort of be samplers for albums that would then be released, but only a few of them went that far. Track 2 is Hollywood by George Clinton from Hey Man Smell My Finger. Track 3 is Love Sign, which was a duet by Nona Gay and Prince. Nona Gay was Marvin's daughter, who is probably better known as an actress. She was in the Matrix sequels. Track 4 is If I Love You Tonight by Maite. Track 5 is Colour by the Steels, previously mentioned. Don't think that track was ever released anywhere else. Track 6 is Together by the MPG. Track 7 is Standing at the Altar by Margie Cox. Track 8 is You Will Be Moved by Mavis Staples, which was on The Voice. Track 9 is 17 by Madhouse, as already mentioned. Track 10 was Nona Gay's version of A Woman's Got to Have It, which I think was one of her dad's songs, memory serves. That wasn't released any further. And then the final track was a reprise of Minneapolis. But it's a good compilation rap. Nearly there for this one. This is Right in English by Dale, who is Dale Bosio, who was lead singer of Missing Persons, I think. Not well known over here at all, but this is on Paisley Park, and Prince wrote a couple of tracks, I believe. It's an album I only listen to, but it's not great. I don't really enjoy it. So Strong Prince wrote. Was it just that one? Yeah, that's the only track he wrote on it. As I say, it's not great album. Next up is The Music of Prince, played by the Classic Metropolitan Orchestra. So this is one of those albums of an orchestra playing instrumental versions of hit songs by a particular artist, and this is their Prince one. I like this. It's good background music. There are some vocals on it, but what I like is it doesn't rely entirely on the hits. It's got mainly hits, but it's also got The Question of You from Graffiti Bridge, Melody Cool, which was again from Graffiti Bridge, but it was a Mavis Staples track. This is Candy Dolfer's album Saxagogo. Candy, saxophonist, Dutch. She's worked with Prince off and on for a number of years. This is one of her albums, and this has got Sunday Afternoon, which Prince wrote on it. That's a good album. I do like Candy. This is a CD single for Come On, which is from the third NPG album New Power Soul. As you can see, by this point we're making no pretense that Prince was part of the band. This has got the radio edit and 2 remixes of it, one of which is, if memory serves, has got very different lyrics on it. And this is the parent album New Power Soul. Again, as you can see, basically it's a Prince album. Probably the least good of the 3 NPG albums, but as Come On is a good track. Mad Sex is good. Push It Up's good. Freaks on This Side's okay. The ballad is amazing. And then there's a hidden track on this called Wasted Kisses, which is amazing. So that's it for part 3. And so we've got one more shelf to go, which has got some of the slightly more interesting limited releases on there. But again, subscribe. You can watch parts 1 and 2 on the playlist, and I'll probably link to them as well. Yeah, subscribe, like, comment, all that sort of stuff, and I'll see you on another video. Thanks for watching. Bye.